Midwives have called for a return of the weigh-in for pregnant women. They say that expectant mothers should be given strict targets and guidelines of how much weight they can gain during pregnancy. This is because they say that poor diet in pregnancy is linked to childhood obesity, and saying that that women who piled on too many pounds would have higher body fat, and their children tended to have the same. So, that, it's interesting reasons why. And there used to be routine weighing of pregnant women, didn't there?
Yeah.
They say they've kind of phased out in the 90s. So your daughter's had, what, 2 children?
Two,
so
yeah.
was she weighed during her
She was
pregnancies?
weighed. The first appointment that she had was at the hospital, so she was weighed then at the beginning of the pregnancy, and then you don't go back to the hospital again, only for your scan. So you go for your 5-month, I think your 3-month scan and your 5-month scan, but then you just go to the local community centre, where I don't think they weighed her at all, because then she was overdue by a week, and when she went into the hospital, they said, "Has anyone told you that this could be a big baby?" And she said, "No," and they said, "Well, we think it's going to be quite a big one." They scanned her and they said, "We think you've got an 11-pound baby in there."
11?
11 £2, actually, when she was born. But, yeah, and, I mean, Lila was £9 Betsy was £11 but, I mean, to look at them now, you'd never dream that they were that size. They're tiny little things, and she ate really healthy and everything. She kept active. She worked all the way through her pregnancy and everything. And me, I put on 4 stone with Louis in particular. I put on really, really a lot of weight and was really, really heavy, so probably...
And did you put it on, if you're honest, did you put it on because you were eating too much?
I think I did, because I'd packed up smoking, so I went to be hypnotised to stop smoking when I found out I was pregnant. So then I think I replaced the cigarettes with eating food. But, I mean, I've always had quite a healthy diet. I don't like anything fried or anything, but I just ate a lot of what I did like, mostly bread and cheese.
There's always been that kind of eating for 2, hasn't it?
Yeah,
eating for 2
well,
now.
listen, honestly, I did eat for 2. I'm not kidding you. I remember towards the end of my pregnancy, my mum was in the kitchen making chapatis, and I must have had about 10. Because I'm not joking. At 3 months, people thought I was having twins, and honestly, I was humongous, and I was eating for 2. I was like,
did you care?
No, I didn't care, but there was no advice. I'd read this piece of advice that stuck in my head that said if you have a baby that's over 8 pounds, it will have more chance of sleeping in the night. And I thought, that just stuck in my head. I thought, I want a nice thing. So literally, I would literally go, right, 1 for me, and here's Baba's, 1 for me, and I can't even tell you how much weight I put on. I never got weighed at the hospital.
No.
And I just didn't remember giving that advice. But Zach was a 9-pound
they're
baby, and he slept like a trooper.
But this is what the midwives are saying, is that women aren't being given the advice now.
No.
And in fact, I was quite shocked by this. It said women have been encouraged to eat healthily and consume no more than an extra 200 calories a day, and only in the 2nd and 3rd trimester. Not right from the start.
I was eating 200 calories a minute.
That's
for 3 months.
That's 2 slices of bread.
That's ridiculous.
I've got some facts here that say the overall risk of miscarriage under 12 weeks is 1 in 5 if you've got a really high BMI. Yeah. And if you've got a body mass index over 30, the risk of a miscarriage is 1 in 4.
But do you think, Janet, that we've got to the stage where nobody's allowed to say the word you're overweight or you're fat, or, that's
You can't say the fat word. That is absolute. Well, the fat word is like a swear word now in this country. It's absolutely... Yeah, because if someone starts off being pregnant, seriously overweight, the stress they're placing on their own system, on their own heart, on their own, their own metabolism is tremendous. And it just, to me... there are all sorts of reasons why people are overweight, but it does seem to me quite selfish to carry on piling on the pounds because you could be damaging your baby's health.
Well, they say that researchers have said that the environment in the womb appears to provoke changes in how the genetic code of the fetus is read, predisposing it to ill health in later life. So not only would the child tend to be obese, but also they'll have health issues that come along with that. So, it's a lot to think about, isn't it? It's a lot of responsibility when you're growing a baby.
You had a story to tell when you went to your antenatal class and you thought...
Oh, I was very big very quickly. Even when I went to my doctor, so I'd done the home pregnancy test, and then I went to my doctor to, just confirm it. And I said to him, I'm quite big already. And he went, yeah. He said, are you sure you've got your dates right? And then I went to my first antenatal class. I thought it was in the wrong room. And then the lady came, so there's one lady sitting there who didn't look as pregnant as me. And I was kind of, didn't waddle exactly, but I was definitely kind of sitting like that. And then another woman came in a little, like, denim skirt, sat next to me, and I thought she was the instructor. And I said, oh, how long have you been running these classes? She went, oh, no, I'm pregnant. And they were all obviously the same kind of...
But they weren't showing as much as you.
No. And I literally could not get enough carbohydrate down me.
Yeah.
Like,
I used pregnancy as an excuse to eat loads of carbohydrates.
I drank
potatoes,
full-fat
pasta.
cola was my thing. It's like, it helps me with the morning sickness. But, it is something... I mean, midwives are asking for this, and I think it sounds like very sensible advice.
Yeah.
I don't think they're out to fat-shame anybody.
But I think the advice does need to come, because there wasn't advice. And I had Zach 10 years ago, so I just think now, because of the obesity crisis, they're probably really focusing on that a lot, because I didn't get weighed and I wasn't given that kind of advice. I was told, eat for 2, so I did.